Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
Show number 4.
Yeah. I'm wearing the same clothes I did 2 months ago.
That's right.
Okay.
What
are we doing now?
Our second mead of the day. Actually, our second and third, if you count the variant, the variation. I got some local honey from Caleb the Beekeeper, which we featured him keeping bees. We showed some video of him keeping bees, which I'll probably pull up from file footage and show that as I'm speaking. But I got some local honey from him. And so I wanted, we've been playing with tinctures for a long time, several months on the this podcast and the audio show as well. So I wanted to actually bottle something with vodka tinctures and see what happens. Now, we just tasted your beautiful mead, which is clear as a bell and sophisticated and the way you should be doing meads. I'm not as nice and patient and professional as you are in mead making. So I didn't stabilize. I didn't clarify. I primed in the bottle. So there's, again, the word of the day is schmutz. So we got some stuff on the bottom of the bottles. But if we pour gently, which you are wont to do. You're Mr. Cookie.
I've been called Mr. Vigorous Pour.
But if we pour gently, it should be all right. So maybe they'll be carbonated. The other day when I opened one of these, it was like still
a carb drop,
flat as a pancake. Yeah, I put a carbonation drop, one of those little candies in there. Okay. So what I did was I started out with 2 quarts of water, and I warmed it up to about body temperature. And into that, just to make the mixing easier, into that I added 2 pounds, 10 ounces, or 1.19 kilograms of local honey. And that was essentially 2 pints, I think, of honey. I mixed that in, and then I added water until I got to around the gravity range that I wanted it using a refractometer. I added 1 gallon total water, or 3.7 liters. And I added 5 grams of this proper yeast nutrient that we got from HomebrewCon. It's an omega product. I stirred that together. I cooled it down to pitching temperature because it was still a little warm. And I pitched a packet of Saf Ale US05, and I fermented that. Original gravity 1070, final gravity 0.998 for an ABV of 9.5%. So, after the fermentation was complete, I racked it to a Mr. Beer fermenter, and then I bottled 6 of the bottles just plain, and I put a carbonation drop in each of those bottles. Then I added some tincture, mystery tincture, that we will see if you know, and I added 2 taste in the Mr. Beer fermenter. And then bottled those with the carbonation drop as well. So I didn't stabilize. I didn't fine. It
is what it is.
It is what it is. I made it on I pitched the yeast on the 18th of July, and I bottled on the 30th of July. So it's quick and dirty. But the other day when I tasted that one, it wasn't carbonated, but it tasted pretty good. So let's pour. There's a little bit of hiss. So if it's not carbonated now, it will be one day, I hope.
I call it an alger hiss.
It's not fizzy. But there is a little bit. There's some bubbles. There's some bubbles in there.
Okay.
So it's nice job.
Yeah. That's beautiful, James. Are you kidding me?
Thank you. Yeah.
So I went to all that effort to find mine.
Yeah.
Yours is just as clear.
Well, if you're careful when you pour.
Well, yeah, you gotta be careful when you pour.
And the last pour is going to look like a snow globe, but smells really good.
Very nice. Very nice.
We've had the discussion several times about using beer yeast with mead, and it kind of doesn't clean up. You know, it tends to leave some honey character in the mead, and I think it does. I think that's a lovely. It reminds me of the first meads that we made way back in the day when we first started brewing.
Yeah.
They were carbonated, very champagne-y, kind of fruity. This is probably a wildflower honey because there's not much fruit around in this area. But I'm real happy with the way it turned out.
You should be. And again, I think in a couple of 3 weeks, this will be more carbonated. It'll be more champagne-like, actually. It's lovely. I hate to do this, but I'm going to.
You're going to compare it with yours.
I just mean in the sense that mine, the flavor is a little stronger. Yours is a little more delicate. So you have to refer back to the previous mead episode.
But you back sweetened yours.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I did a lot more.
It's more of a
cajoling on mine.
It's a teeny tiny bit sweeter honey character in yours. Mine's a little more dry.
Oh, I'm not sure I don't like yours better. I mean, at least in the moment, it's just so light and refreshing, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I didn't mean mine's bad or anything.
No.
But all of a sudden, I just went, okay.
They're both way good. But in the same way that your pale ale is different from mine, they're different animals.
They're different animals.
Different honey, different techniques.
I do really like how beautifully the honey comes through in your mead.
It's really good honey.
It's really good honey, and it shows. And however you made the mead, shows that honey off. And I think that's an important thing to think about. If you have really good quality honey, and I was kind of in on this at the beginning, that was expensive honey.
Yeah. But I'm glad to support
absolutely
a local beekeeper and local honey.
But my point is when you have an extraordinarily good honey, that isn't going to come cheap,
right.
And it shouldn't.
Right.
Make a mead with that shows that honey off. Don't make a mead that you've then kind of altered somehow.
Speaking of which,
but
I altered what I did for this second bottle I'm going to give you a hint. I combined 2 different tinctures.
Okay.
So the way we've been making tinctures is I take half a cup of vodka. And the one I'm using was made in Missouri.
Okay.
Half a cup of vodka and just a fistful of ingredients usually, and I put it in there and I cover it up and I let it sit for like 2-3 days.
Wow. Clint Eastwood passed on that movie.
Fistful of stuff.
Fistful of ingredients. They rewrote the script.
Feel lucky, punk. No, that's another movie. So.
Okay. So now.
So speaking of taking a wonderful, unique local honey and messing it up, let's see if I screwed it up or if I improved it. Now let's see if there's still just a teeny bit of a hiss. And I covered up the lid with duct tape because I didn't want to give you any hints.
Oh, look how beautiful it has an orangish hue.
I'm not saying anything.
It definitely has a little.
Yeah, it's got
a touch of magenta.
It does have a hue.
It does. It is a different color, but it's
like pink champagne rather than just regular champagne.
Okay.
Smells different.
This isn't going to be some habanero thing that's going to kill me,
I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, it smells good. That's habanero, or chilies. That might be jalapeno. There's chilies in there somewhere. That's really, really good.
I'm not saying anything. Okay, I'll give it. All right,
I don't have a clue.
Some of the one of the tinctures was jalapeno.
Okay.
Homegrown jalapeno, sliced up.
Got that.
And put in the vodka.
Yep.
It does it's a little bit of heat on the back.
But it's really nice.
But what's the other half?
I honestly don't know. It's fruit. It could be strawberries. It could be blackberries.
Bing!
It's blackberries.
No, it's strawberry.
Strawberries.
You hit it.
That was my first thought.
Super Taster Steve. Okay, so I bottled 6 of the. Heat building up.
Wow.
I bottled 6 of the meads plain, and then to the rest of the mead in the Mr. Beer fermenter, which turned out to be 5 bottles, I added 12 milliliters of the jalapeno tincture and 48 milliliters of the strawberry. And I just kept on, I used these little pipettes, these little plastic pipettes. And I kept on adding and adding and adding until I got to the level of strawberry. It didn't take much to get to the level of jalapeno that I wanted, but maybe it could use a little more strawberry, but I didn't want it to be like, this is like, strawberry fruit juice spritzer or whatever.
I picked up the strawberry immediately. I was a little afraid to say that right off the bat, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely strawberry and definitely the jalapeno. That is absolutely wonderful. That is absolutely killer.
And does the honey still, I think.
And the honey's still there. Wow.
Now, you remember in one of our tincture shows, we combined strawberry and jalapeno and flavoring the beer, and we liked it so much that I wanted to pay tribute to that experience and it works. It works well you don't taste the vodka at all. But it works at bottling, and I think that it does. I don't know that it improves the mead, because I love the standalone mead by itself. It's really, really good, I think. But this is also, it's a different animal. Again, it's a different animal. But it's enough of.
I love that.
It's enough of a fruity flavor that you say. There's some fruit. What is it? But strawberry is so delicate, and then you get that kick of heat at the back of the throat. It's like there's something else in there. But it's not painful.
It's not painful. It's not hot, and boy, oh boy, that's inspiring.
Oh,
I'm like, I want to cook like some crab and some halibut and mango things and serve that. I mean, it would just be wonderful with that kind of Caribbean kind of flavors, some Scotch bonnet sort of thing going. I mean, that's really wonderful, and
well, it means
it's very complex.
It means a lot coming from you, the master mead maker, that you would say something like that. But it's clear as a bell.
Beautiful.
Without any stabilizers or clarifiers. You just got to stay away from that bottom layer.
Decant.
You're right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Boy, I'm happy.
You should be. Really. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's a small batch. So,
that's the only thing wrong with it.
11 of those bottles total. And, but like I say, the honey was expensive, but well worth it, I think.
Very well worth it.
It's really, really good.
And indeed, I still get the honey. I get that jalapeno in the back of my throat. It has that savory character that jalapenos have, as opposed to habaneros, which are more fruity.
Right.
So it's a little bit more earthy, and that little bit of heat is there, which I really like. And then that strawberry is just like the icing on the cake.
It's kind of floating on the top.
It does have a soggy bottom, though. So, it may not be Star Baker.
Well, there you go. All right. Boy, that I'm looking at the timer. We talked a long time. Turns out when you've done 4 shows in a row, you talk a lot longer.
That happens.
All right.
All right.
If you've been with us, if you're still with us, Thanks for subscribe and like and comment and whatever.
Yeah.
We need to get more
of this.
More members or subscribers or whatever. Anyway, doesn't matter. But anyway, love you guys. I love you guys. Fourth show of the day.
We've suffered for this mead, and now it's your turn.
All right, let us know if you play around with this kind of stuff. It's delicious. Cheers, everybody. Come and visit us online at basicbrewing.com. You can find archive lists of our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs and our brewer's logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. That may be the best mead I've ever made in my whole life.
That's the best mead of the day.
Really?
That's the one I like the best.
Wow.
As much as I like mine, mine's really good. This one's really good too.
Thank
There's
you.
just something.
It really means a lot.
That's the one that I would really want to drink.
I bow to your prowess as the mead maker. So that's I'm happy and I'm glad it's the last one of the day.